Curious about vegetables? Talk to Iswesid. Hello everyone, welcome to Around the VegTable. I'm Lysette Lacambra and your host for this program. In today's episode, we are virtually traveling to the learning farms of 5 knowledge transfer countries: Bangladesh, Uganda, the Philippines, India, and Nigeria. So, fasten your seatbelts as we begin our journey. Let me introduce our virtual tour learning crew for today's episode. Pia Wan Pupong, Palm. So, Palm is our KT Technical Research Lead for group support. And hello, Imad Mustafa. Imad is our Technical Manager from Bangladesh. And then Omedi Bosco. Bosco is our technical specialist in Uganda. Welcome. And next is our knowledge transfer specialist and also our local technical support member from the Philippines, Jovi Ann Kirante. And also next is Bagyada Swain. So Bagyada is our technical specialist in India. Last but not the least, Sebastine Agada, our technical specialist in Nigeria. I think we are ready to take off and let the virtual flight or tour to our learning farms begin. So I'd like to call on my co-pilot for today, Pia Wan Pupong, to give us a brief introduction to our destination, the learning farms. Palm, take it away.
Okay, thank you for having me today. Good morning, good afternoon again, everyone. So today I would like to introducing you a KT Learning Farm. So it's a project like focused on developing and sharing technique recommendation that are specifically tailored to vegetable production. So what makes our approach unique is that what we are committed to ensuring these recommendations are adapted to the local context in which they are applied. So in agriculture, there is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all solution, right? So every region, every country has its own unique climate, soil condition, farming practice. That's why through our trials, action research, and close collaboration with local farmers, we work to develop practice and what the farmer specific needs. So this ensures that what works in one area is not only effective, but also sustainable and beneficial in that specific environment. So we have 5 main key objectives for the learning farm, which I will share you today. So our first key objective is to use the learning farm as a hand-on training ground for new staff and other stakeholders. So here they can gain practical experience and learn essential skills in vegetable production. So this immersive environment ensures that participants not only understand the theory behind the technique, but they can have the opportunity to apply the technique that they learn in the real situation in the learning farm. And the second key objective is to conduct the action research on innovative or improved technique in vegetable production. This is done in collaboration with EWS-KT R&D, product development, research institutions, and other organizations that are similar goals. So what's the important about our research is that it doesn't just focus on the technique themselves, but also on overall cost and return also, so that our findings are practical and applicable for the farmer. So now if you look at the left side, you will see an example from Uganda where we are doing the action research on green manure. So we will dive into that later in today's session. And on the right side, we have the research from Thailand on using spunbone in tomato production. So in this study, we evaluated the incidence of the viral disease, the yield, and compare the cost and return also between the using spunbone and the open field condition. So for more details on this and other study, you can visit on our blog in growhow.eastwest.com. And our third objective is to show farmer effective agronomic practice In the learning farm, we also include basic technique like seedling production, mulching, trellising, as well as more advanced methods suited to specific environment. So the goal is to make sure farmers have the right knowledge and tools. So it's a basic, more innovation techniques that fit on their own condition. And another objective is building strong connection with the both current and potential stakeholders. So this means forming partnership with university, agriculture research institutes, and by working together, we can share knowledge, collaborate on shared goals, and amplify the impact of our effort in vegetable production and sustainable farming. And beside the hands-on field work that we do, we also focus on creating engaging content like videos to share our finding, specific techniques, inspiration, and innovation on social media platform. So this helps us reach a wider audience from farmer to agricultural expert and spread our research and practice more effectively. So our learning farm also acts as a platform for virtual tours like what we are doing today. So making it easier for people to access our trials and results. So no matter where you are. And currently, KT Learning Farm established across 11 countries, as you can see from our map. So this includes location in Bangladesh, Cambodia, Ghana, India, Indonesia, Nigeria, Philippines, Tanzania, Uganda, and also in Myanmar. And last slide, yeah. So today is the first time for us to travel together for 5 countries, from Asia to Africa. So now I will hand on it over to my colleagues who will guide you through the work being done at our local learning farm. So they will share more details about vegetable trials and the research and initiative happening on the ground. Lysette, back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Palm, for that introduction. And now we are ready to touch down in Bangladesh. May I call on Imad?
Yes, Lysette, very good afternoon to you.
Yes. Good afternoon. So, are you ready, Imad, to take the participants to your learning farm?
Yes.
Okay.
It's our pleasure.
Now it's your turn.
Hello, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon to all. Welcome to Bangladesh Learning Farm. Located in the heart of Bangladesh, we are in Faridpur. As you can see, this is our learning farm and it's our entrance, beautifully covered with traveling bottle gourds. Here at Bangladesh Learning Farm, we are showcasing various climate resilient technology alongside improved agronomic practices. We highlight cultivation methods such as installing and making holes in plastic mulch. As you can see, focusing also different type of mulching, trellising, proper time of fertilizer application, setting up trellising on time, and conducting timely pruning. Additionally, we demonstrate thoughtful and safe pesticide application practices. We are exploring various agronomic practices across different crops, pumpkin, watermelon, focusing on the impact of mulching. Our technical team conducts hands-on training right here at the farm. We also have an 80 square meter of miniature kitchen garden you are seeing here, where we are growing 10 different vegetables, showcasing intercropping technique, vertical farming, various different technologies as well, so that a family household can consume year-round nutrition rich food from here. And also we are showcasing different indigenous practices in here, and media preparation, leaf pot seedling preparation, good seedling. You are also know that your ATI Agriculture Training Institute students are being trained in here. Different field visit, farm of field days, as well as different IPM technologies farmers are seeing in here. They have different times hands-on training in here, field days organized different times, multiple times, indigenous practices like surgeon. And also we are hanging tomatoes for more than 60 days in here, showcasing different inspiring children's in the field to make leaf pods. So let's welcome again to our compost shed in here. For that, I am representing our learning from one approach in here. This is our small compost shed where we are producing different types of compost in here. Let's deep dive around it. The materials we use to produce this thing is local materials, bamboo, palm leaves as a root shade. This is producing shade, and also the rain cannot enter in here. We have three different types of vermicompost producing house in here. Like here, the materials is used for as bricks, cement, and all the around. We have a drain where we can consume, where we can store water, so that not the ants can enter into the house and destroy your precious worm in the house. So this house is actually 3-meter long and 1-meter house. We have two house in here. Later I will show the worms in here. And the another technology of producing the same vermicompost is the bamboo material. We make this vermicompost house with the local bamboo. So it's minimize your cost. And here is the raw material, final product, that is the vermicompost, and it is very precious for soil health improvement. And here you can see another approach. We call it vertical way of producing vermicompost, where you have small places in here. You can produce this by different vertical approaches. So here you can see banana stem is also producing, also giving in the top, so it can make some shade for the worms. The worms are loving shade. And also we gave some banana stem within the fruit carrot, because it conserve moisture, which is very important for the worms within it. So here you can see some worms in here, which are is good condition. We sieved this for once, because we harvested more than 6 centimeter from the top of it, and we have long to go. We will collect some more vermicompost in the upcoming days. So this is how we are giving 3,000 pieces of worm within this 4 different things, like these two house and the banana and the bamboo house and the vertical shade. So it depends, because for first time you need to make sure that the worm is in good condition and they are multiplying. So this is how you are seeing this the vermicompost is been sieving by using net. So this is the final material, and we also put the worm again to the house so that it can multiply several times within their nest. Going forward, this is our second intervention in our small shed. It is called the tricho compost. So to produce 700 kilos of tricho compost, we put 360 kilos of poultry litter, 280 kilos of cow dung, 250 kilos of water hyacinth, cornmeal of 20 kilos, sawdust of 30 kilos, neem leaf of 10 kilos, kitchen waste of 50 kilos, molasses 2 kilos, and last but not the least, the trichoderma of 5 kilos. For each house, we are producing 700 kilos initially. We provide here. Let us see how kilograms we can harvest from here. So we are calculating the data and what amount of tricho compost we are harvesting. So already we harvest some thing and giving our field. So interesting thing, this is the byproduct where we collect. It's called Lysette, and this is how the Lysette comes down and drains, and we harvesting this when this Lysette is going through these drains. I will show you later where we harvest. This is the one of the byproduct, the precious byproduct of trichocompost, which is very effective as a biofungicide. So there is the drain, and we are harvesting this tricho this Lysette from here, and we are sieving these things, and we are producing like 70 liter of this. And let's see in the upcoming season we will use this thing in our learning farm. So we call this trichocompost, and the final product, we have two products. One is trichocompost and another is Lysette. So this is very precious thing for us. It is it can be used as a biopesticide. Moving forward, waiting for the video to come, the next thing. So it is very important to maintain your source right, to make a farm running in every area. So the input should be ready, the soil amendments, the that can improve the health status of your farm. You of course need some compost to give the good compost in the in your farm. So last but not the least, we have another product. We call this Gialsu. We call it's it's uh, it's called Gialsu. It's coming from a Chinese word, and Gialsu means the fermented liquid or enzyme rich liquid. It is made by fermenting molasses, organic waste, and water in a 1:3:10 ratio for over 3 months. And agriculture also contains beneficial microorganisms and organic acids that enhance plant growth and soil nutrients, and also helps suppress soil-borne fungal disease and pathogens. So as you can see in this bottle, we can harvest this thing by sieving as well. And this is how it's look like. It's, it's also a very good thing from where you can get precious GLSU to your farm. And thank you so much. Waiting for your questions.
Thank you very much, Imad. Please keep your video on as we also address some questions from the participants. And it's very interesting to see your composting methods. Actually, I see a lot of the comments on our chat box, even on our Facebook live stream, that they really like the composting methods that you presented. Great job. So there's one question from Awaisu Tijani Abbas from Nigeria. This is very interesting. How can we put into practical aspect in your site here in Kano? I think this will be can be answered by Sebastian, who's also handling the learning farm in Nigeria. But thank you for the interest, Awaisu. Sebastian, you can also add your details later to see how you can set up this in Nigeria. Do you think, Imad, it's possible?
I can share the recipe thing, how we are going for the trichocompost. I will share this in the chat box for referencing.
Okay, back to the composting, Imad. Very interesting to see for how long can the worms stay alive in each compost. So question from Blessing from Nigeria. Hi, Blessing.
3,000 worm 3 months ago, and we source that from different places. Actually, in summer season, it is very difficult for us to keep this worms alive, because you can lose your worms in different way, like ants can eat these things. So that's why we put a drain around and store water so that ants can go on that other places. And also hot and hot condition is not liked by the worms. So you should maintain your moisture level properly during this whole time. So not too very hot or not too muddy type this thing. So that's how you can preserve your worm generation by generation. It will multiply several times in after a while. So you should put some banana stem in between in between the cow dung, so that how they can lays their eggs in there. So if you maintain proper way for their nest, for their erosion or for their so that they can multiply or lay their eggs in there.
From Morita Sylvester, do soil microbial or nitrogen-fixing organisms build up themselves? Where do you get those worms from? It's they source it out. Do you have any farmers who are doing that business, Imat, in Bangladesh? Just producing the earthworm, the worms.
Yes, this is how we collected the worms. We collected those from the farmers actually. So we sourced the farmers out. And in Bangladesh, I believe in every district there are some farmers who are producing. And this is a very good example in our SDG project in the coastal area. We made several entrepreneurs on vermicomposting. So right now we have 30 entrepreneurs increasing their business, then also increasing the numbers of population of worms. So this is how we are collecting those worms from those farmers.
Perfect. I have a lot of questions here, but we still have 4 countries that we're flying to. So I would like to ask Imat later to answer the questions on the chat box, if it's that okay, Imat. But let's end your question to this from Team International. So super impressive, Bangladesh. I have heard you saying the liquid you can use as biopesticide, right? So what is the target pest and how do you use it in practice? Again, super learning site, Imat.
No, till now not, but it depends on how you are collecting this. You should practicing these things. This is our first time, so we will try these things as well. So if you have concentrated things like Lysette, replacing giving one by one, you will find concentration more concentrate. So that's we are practicing like 100 milliliter per 10 liter of water we will add. But if that Lysette is concentrate, you can minimize it or you can increase it depending on your things. And the target pest is the different type of fungus like downy mildew, or this type of fungus disease can be controlled by this because trichoderma is added in there, so they multiply their population, and that's how that trichoderma things can control your mainly the fungal diseases in your farm. Thank you.
Now we are ready to fly to Uganda. Bosco, are you still with us?
Yes, Lysette, I'm available.
Okay. Good morning, Uganda. So,
Good morning, good afternoon.
are you
Lucia.
feeling good? Crunchy?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Now, please show us around your learning farm.
Great. Most welcome.
Okay, yeah, you're most welcome. This is a learning farm. As you can see, in our learning farm, we showcase different practices, different techniques, different innovations, and all these are aimed at equipping farmers with the good practices that they can embrace and adopt in their respective fields. So we normally do this to also showcase to different partners, governments, and also our staffs that comes to build their capacity from this point. And then as they go out to the field, they go when they have done it practically, they have appreciated it, they have learned a lot about it, so that when they talk to the farmers, they talk while they know what it takes to raise and then produce a successful vegetable crop. But also above all, we try to, yes, this is a section of green manure in our learning farm. And as you can see, we have cowpea, which is on, and it is at its medium vegetative stage. We do this as a bit to bring back our soil glory. And this is aimed at improving our soil fertility, improving the organic matter content in the soil, but also we try to select green manure crops that can grow faster so that it doesn't delay us during the season when we want to put in the commercial crops later. So we try to make sure we bring in those crops that don't take long, establishes faster, as you can see in the images, different green manure crops that are having shown in the same time, but you see having different patterns of growth. So this makes you leave you with a choice to make on which one grows faster based on your timing of when you want to bring the commercial crops. So if you go for the one that grows slowly, it will delay you and probably will affect your planning. So we encourage you to do the ones that will grow faster, and also you select those that are able to provide probably additional roles apart from improving the soil fertility, adding the organic matter in the soil, those that with additional role. So we also do trainings in this green manure learning farm. We call farmers, we call stakeholders, we take them through what we are doing in the learning farm. We also do a lot more of soil testing. This comes before we introduce the green manure crops, and then also after we have established it. So after raising it successfully, we try to bring in the aspect of the shopping and incorporations, and based on your size of the farm, you can choose which way to go. If the size is small, you can do mechanically by harvesting and chopping using bangers. And then, but if you have a large farm, you can choose to incorporate directly using tractor, using ox plow, whatsoever it can take for you to incorporate. But at least you look at what simplifies the work, what makes the work much more easier, and then also what makes the process much more faster, so that the incorporation is done on time, and then you also bring the commercial, the chopping and other things on time. So at least you make sure you chop them small, tiny, so that when you are incorporating, it is easier to incorporate. So as you see in this video, we're incorporating the chopped green manure already in the soil, and the incorporation has to be fully done, and these incorporations need to be done in a way that all the chopped pieces are turned down into the soil, and then as they are turned into the soil, they will decompose, and as they decompose, they will be able to release nutrients that are required for plant growth, but also they will decompose and improve the organic matter content as well as the structure of the soil. And so you really need to have it done well, and then allow it decompose the right way. So the same way as you do the incorporation, you can choose based on what you have at your disposal, but also based on the size of your farm. You can choose to go with annuals if it is a small size, but if it is a big piece of farm, then you may need to go for plowing machines, ox plows and tractors, the rest, what is available in your place, so that you can incorporate it in a good way, and then you don't really delay much your time to do the incorporation, but also you look at the labor requirement, the cost implications, what it really requires you. So if you realize that you don't have the money and the cost is high, then you can go mechanically with the hand hoe, and then you make sure you incorporate fully, and then before you bring your commercial crop. So this is done before you bring in your commercial crop, and then by the time you bring your commercial crop, you're already fully incorporated. After like a week or 2 weeks, then you can bring the commercial crop of your choice. And we expect that within the first 1 to 2 weeks, if you've incorporated at the right stage, when it is just at its vegetative stage, it will be able to decompose faster, and then this will benefit the commercial crops that is coming. So as you see in the images are different commercial crops that we put after the first cycle of the green manure. We have the cabbages that you see in the image. This was transplanted a week after, 2 weeks after the incorporation of the green manure, and we have the okra as well, which is also planted at the same time. And as you can see, they're all flourishing very well, and both the cabbage and okra are all doing well. So after the harvest of the commercial crop, we also do a soil analysis to check on the balances of the soil, plant nutrients, mostly the nitrogen that is left in the soil, that will help us in planning and calculating what we need to bring in to benefit the next crop cycle. So we try to do all it takes to take and do a soil test, and then take the nitrogen levels in the soil based on what has been consumed and what is left after harvesting the commercial crop. And then as you see, we have some green manure crops that have additional roles. And when you saw those that have additional role to play in suppressing nematodes, and those that have additional role to play in when adding organic matter. So that is what we have for our learning farm in Uganda. And then other things that will come in the questions, I think I will be able to address them as they come.
For presenting us or showing us around your learning farm, and specifically also showing us the results or your activities on the green manure project. So we're doing this actually together with Wageningen University and Research. If Herman is here, hi Herman, or Esther is also here. So we're doing that with their team in Uganda, the same project with Uganda and India. And now we're ready to ask questions, Bosco, or to answer the questions. We have few. First is from Aliyu, from Candy, sorry. Nice presentation. So what is the spacing or average plant population per area of the green manure crop based on your protocol, Bosco?
Yeah, for the green manure crops, we encourage that the more you condense it, the better, because we aim at getting a big volume of biomass that are produced by the green manure crops. So we may not have a specific spacing to recommend you, but we ask you to at least try as much as possible to compact them, so that at the end you have bigger volume of biomass that will be turned into the soil, and then it will help in improving your soil as fast as possible.
Thank you for that, Bosco, and also Candy for the question. Awaisu, maybe just to make it clearer, Bosco, maybe they missed the photos. Could you also mention the type of plants that you can use as green manure again, please?
Yes, yeah. The type of plants that you saw from there, we have cowpea, we have beans, we have azuki beans, we have soybean, we have sunhen, among others. But what we consider here is what is available, what is accessible, what the farmers can easily access and then afford to bring. So we try to, as much as possible, go in the local content, so that at the end of this research work, the farmers are able to appreciate and adopt based on what they have in their disposal. So those are the most common that are in this region and also available in Uganda as a country. Thank you. But we also try to bring in as much as possible nitrogen fixers, the legumes, because they have those additional role. As the fixed nitrogens, they're also improving the organic matter content in the soil. Thank you.
Thank you, Bosco. And following that, maybe the question coming from Morita, how long will it take for green manure to decompose fully?
Yes, it depends on the stage at which you harvest and chop it. If you chop it at the peak of vegetative stage, peak vegetative, when it has not yet started flowering, it means it is still fresh, it is still soft, it is succulent. When you incorporate in the soil, it takes you between 2 weeks to 3 weeks to have already decompose. But also to stimulate decompositions, you need to have adequate soil moisture. If it is dry, I would advise you to sprinkle some water on the bed so that it can speed up the decomposition rate. If you delay to have the crops at its late maturity, when it is already too woody, if you chop and incorporate in the soil, it delays to decompose, and you may not have the effect as soon as possible. Maybe the next commercial crop cycle will be the one to benefit after it has decomposed fully. So it depends. Yeah.
Good point, Bosco. I think that also answers the question of Nicolas Dadsi. Like, what happens if you just leave the residue there without incorporating into the soil? So, yes, good point, Bosco. Thank you. And Onkin, how long should it wait to grow crops on the green manure beds? So maybe after incorporation. So how long do you need to wait before you grow a main crop?
Okay, you just need to wait between 2 to 3 weeks, but 2 weeks is much better. After the first week you leave it, then the second week you grow your commercial crop.
Okay, thank you very much, and also to Onkin for that question. Another question from Abu Bakar Adeza Ismail. Is there any local way of doing soil analysis or just observation in the case where there is no laboratories?
No, not
The local
really.
area.
Yeah, because that is a chemical property, you cannot observe it physically. But if it is physical properties, structures, and other things, you can use your eye to observe and other things. So at least you need NCHEX or a small laboratory in your region to do that.
Yeah, and I think in Uganda you are using the one in Kenya, right?
Yeah. For the crop parts, we're using for the crop nutrients, it is Kenya, but for the soil, we have laboratories in Uganda.
Last question from Morita. What, for instance, you planted cowpeas after main crop? When it's ready, you uproot it for sale. Do it incorporate required nutrients, or how can we go about it? So I think this is applicable in your case because this is an issue that we actually discussed before. Bosco.
Yeah, true. Yeah, as we do this, we try to, as much as possible, elaborate to the farmers the value of the green manure crop. Yes, you can have a green manure crop that you are, at the same time, it serves the purpose of eating, at the same time, it serves the purpose of improving the soil. So if the purpose for establishing is to improve the soil fertility, then I would not encourage you to harvest and then you eat part of it, but you rather allow it to grow and then you incorporate everything fully in the soil so that at least it will give you more food in future. Actually, you can have plenty to harvest in future when the soil is already improved.
Good point, Bosco. And thank you for all the questions.
So maybe Lysette,
Yes,
just for the consumption of the rest, I saw a question on nematodes. What specific crops?
Last question, Bosco, please.
Yeah. So yes, additionally, based on our observations, and among some of these green manure crops is sunhemp. I think it's in the family of Crotalaria, and it plays additional role in suppressing nematodes in the fields. As we saw from the photo, the one that had so many gulls of nematodes infections were from those beds without sunhemp. But the one that had the very minimal infection was from the bed planted with sunhemp. And then it tells you the additional role, in addition to improving the soil fertility, the additional role it plays in trying to manage and then suppress the nematode populations in the field. So I think the rest I will answer them in the chat box.
Yes, please, Bosco. And also, we're waiting for the final report of this action research as well, because yeah, we have a very good initial result already. And one thing, the nematode that you mentioned, and also the reduction of synthetic fertilizers in those treatments. So thank you very much, Bosco, for showing us around your learning farm. And please, yes, answer the questions, more questions there, also on our Facebook live stream. Thank you. And now we're ready to fly back to Asia, back to the Philippines. Jovian, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ate Lysette.
Yes, now it's your time to shine in the Philippines. Take it away.
Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our KT Learning Farm. For today's virtual farm exposure tour, we will be showcasing our biological control agent village hat and updates on the ongoing action research assessing the adaptability and productivity of red onion and yellow granax, or known as a white onion, in the mid-elevation area through protective and open cultivation. Why do you want to highlight this innovative farming solution? As we all know, pests are considered a significant challenge for the farmer in their production. While pesticides are the common solution, they come from the downside, such as resistant development, harm to non-target organisms, and environmental contamination. Biological control offers an alternative by using beneficial insects and microorganisms that prey on or parasitize pests, allowing us to manage pests effectively. One of the main challenges in promoting integrated pest management using biological control agent to the farmer is the access and technical know-how. Many of the farmers thought they need a sophisticated laboratory to mass produce this biocon agent. But through a simple alternative, farmers can easily adapt and mass produce biocon agent on their own and be the source of the nearby farming communities. We have collaborated with the Regional Crop Protection Center of the Department of Agriculture to showcase biocon village type concept to the farmer, as we have shared a common goal of sustainable farming solution of pest management. Biocon Village Hub is simple, low-cost setup dedicated for rearing biocon agent, which farmer can easily adapt in their respective area. So in the KT Learning Hub, we only use local material that is available locally, so we can showcase that you don't need a high-end laboratory to mass produce these biocon agents. So Biological Village Hub. So let's take a quick visit to our Biocon Village Hub and learn more about some of the key biological control agent referred to from here on as biological agents. So different biological control agents. Trichoderma harshanu is a beneficial fungus that colonize production area and antagonize other pathogens and manage soil-borne diseases such as a stem rot and bacterial wilt when regularly applied prior to infections. Trichogramma chelones is one of the egg parasitoids. These beneficial insects lay their eggs on or inside the host. When the egg hatch, the larvae feed on the host, ultimately killing it. So Trichogramma chelones particularly attack eggs of eggplant fruit and shoot borer. The egg of the Trichogramma chelones are being stored in these trichocards, which you can easily attach on the plant branches at early stage. Earwig is also one of the predators. This is also a beneficial insect that hunt and feed on the insect pests. Earwig are well known as general predator. These earwig actively hunt and consume eggs, larvae, and soft-bodied insects such as aphids and thrips. Rearing process of earwig. Earwig can be reared in laboratory or village-type hub on artificial media or diet, such as dog food. The media or the diet is effective and efficient since it is cheap and locally available. To prepare the artificial media, dog food should be pulverized and placed in a separate small container within the rearing box along with a moist cotton. Transfer the collected starter population from the regional crop protection center to the rearing box and include coconut fiber or corn cob to provide additional habitat. We should also maintain soil moisture content at 27 to 30%, then introduce adult earwigs at a ratio of one male and 3 female, and feed them with the artificial diet once a week. Earwig develop from eggs to adult approximately 35 days. They lay 6 batches of eggs with about 40 eggs per batch, or a total of 240 eggs throughout their lifespan. So according to the National Crop Protection Center, eggs typically hatch in 6 to 8 days with an average natural mortality of 10.5%, which means 89% deposited eggs successfully hatch and become nymph. So after 35 days, earwig are ready to harvest and release in the field. Application of biocon agents. So here are the steps in rearing earwigs into the field. First, ensure the field has adequate condition for earwigs. A field with some natural cover or mulching will be more suitable. Note that 4th or 5th instar are the most appropriate and ideal stage for release of earwig, as they are more developed and can survive in the field. Lastly, release the earwig at the rate of 1 earwig per square meter, or distribute earwig evenly across the identified target zone. Gently spread them by hand and release them in a various spot in the production area. How to use Trichogramma harshanum. So get fresh cultured Trichogramma strains from Regional Crop Protection Center. Mix 1 bag of inoculated Trichoderma with 16 liters of clean, non-chlorinated water, and mix it well before applying it into the field. How to apply Trichoderma solutions. Part of the preventive management measures includes spraying of Trichoderma harshanum during the pre-establishment stage to facilitate soil colonization. Subsequently, regular drenching of Trichoderma solutions after transplanting must be done. This application ensures that Trichoderma harshanum, once established in the soil, will act as biological antagonists against pathogens. Here at the Learning Farm, so this year, we're comparing the performance of 2 onion types growing in the rain shelter versus open field. Both growing conditions are provided with the same rate of fertilizer and installed with a drip irrigation. In one of the growing conditions, we constructed a low-cost rain shelter primarily made of bamboo, which could last up to 3 to 5 years depending on the care and maintenance. Under this type of protective structures, you can already see that onions of both grown type are thriving at 35 days after transplanting. So at this stage, onions have developed a full set of leaves and starting to form bulbs. Another growing condition is the open field, where most of the farmers grow onions, particularly in the low land region of the country. This setup is being established in the mid-elevation area where the climate is classified as type 3, characterized by high temperatures and abundant rainfall. This makes onion production more challenging in the open field. As you can see in the setup, at currently 35 days after transplanting, severe infection of stem phylum blight and anthracnose are already observed, even despite implementing integrated pest management. Now, given the erratic weather condition, we have set up an improvised rain gauge to regularly measure the precipitations and track trends over time, which can help us make inform decisions in our irrigation schedule, and also serve as our basis for assessing mortality in the open field. In the context of mortality here, we're referring to a death rate of onion in a given area over a specific period. As for the mortality of the onion in both growing condition, we already see from this chart generated from weekly data collected at 7 days, 14, 21, and 28 days, and 35 days after transplanting that shows a significant difference in growing performance between onion types grown in the open field and grow under range shelter. Both red onions and yellow granax, also known as white onion, grow under range shelter have generally lower mortality rate compared to those in the open field. The mortality rate for both onion types under range shelter remain relatively stable, with only slight increase over time. In contrast, the open field shows a significant rise in mortality between 21 days and 35 days after transplanting. Particularly, the red onion, which suggests increased susceptibility due to the consecutive rain in the area. This trial is still ongoing, but we're already seeing the benefits of protective culture in this challenging environment and climatic condition. We have yet to determine which growing condition will give quality bulbs. So stay tuned for our next update or visit our learning farm in Bukidnon, Philippines to learn more about the trial as well as some farming techniques and the biocon agent that we are showcasing. So thank you and good afternoon and good morning, everyone.
Thank you very much, Jovi, for showing us around in your Bukidnon learning farm. It's good to see all your progress in there, especially on the biocon agents. We have some questions, but again, I would like to answer 2 questions right now. Please also answer Jovi and later on in the chat box. Do earwigs also eat ants, and can they turn into pests when they outbreak?
As per research, maybe if the ants is still in their soft-bodied stage, earwigs can eat the ants. And based on the study, earwigs cannot be a pest in the production area since their host or their pest is their host is only pests, not crops. So they don't eat leaves or branches or roots of the crops.
Thank you very much, Jovi, and it's great to see the success of your biocon agents. Please answer the questions there as we proceed to our next country. We still have 2 countries to fly in, so thank you, Jovi. Thank you very much. Yes, bye-bye. Now we're ready to fly to another country. Our next stop is India. Hello, Bagya.
Hello.
Yes, so we're ready to fly. Please show us around your center of excellence in Odisha.
Hello. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Center of Excellency for Vegetable Production in Keonjhar, Odisha, India. So in this Center of Excellency, we have 1.4 acre land in which we have different crops and different adaptability techniques we demonstration for the farmer so that farmer can easily adapt those techniques in their own commercial plots. So we have also different nursery house and also vermicompost units. So today I will showcase you 2 cucurbit crops which is in fruiting stage. One is a bottle gourd. So here you can see the bottle gourd fruiting stage. So we have some intercropping in between the 2 beds. So in the curling area, you can see the cauliflower intercrop. So you can grow coriander, spinach, other leafy vegetables. So farmer can get extra incomes from those same area. So you can see the bottle guard is in hanging by the drop telecing. We just do drop telecing for better quality of fruits, so that farmer can get good income, good market demand. Also, you see the releasing of the bottle guard. You can see we do the side releasing with the single stick, the different type of releasing materials. In other, just like bitter gourd, you use fish net, but in basically in a bottle gourd, leaves are bigger than the bitter gourd, so that in fish net releasing is difficulty. So that we put in single stick releasing. So it is very cheap cost, so farmer can do it in easily. So just and the single stick poles connected to with the each beds. Then we put the nylon ropes in the top releasing. So you use also pruning of the bottle guard. You can see the all the side branches of the bottle guard up to the top releasing. There is no side branches. We form all the side branches, and here you can use different type of sticky traps, which is one yellow and blue. You can see a lot of insect is trapping in the yellow sticky trap. You can see also the pheromone trap, which is helps to reduce the fruit fly damage in basically in the cucurbit crops. And also we have the second one crop is bitter gourd. In this crop, we use the small segment bitter gourd variety. The name is Paki variety. As you can see the crop guides for in local language. So some farmer is also farmer can easily understanding the our crop guides, so that you can also explore in our grow how website in other crops. So here we use the yellow sticky trap. You can see the one technical message. We use the technical block card just in local language, so farmer can understand the basic things of why we use this one, why part. So farmer can easily understand why he use these techniques. So if we farmer can read and understand easily, we can see enjoy the our bitter gourd crops and fruits is hanging in the top releasing. Also we use the same thing with as a bottle gourd. The distance between the bed to bed is 2 meter. You can see in the curling area we already harvested our coriander in this bed. So here we use different type of also drafts. And also we here in the bitter gourd also we use fish net releasing, and also we prune all the lower parts of the bitter gourd plant, just like it plants the plant side branches and also side leaves, which it helps to, you can see in the picture there is no branches and no lower leaves, which can help to reduce the fungal disease infection spreading, and also it helps to good aeration as well as sunlight exposure, and also it helps to for the plant growth and a good fruit setting, also good quality of fruits in the our curling area. You can see the curling area is between 2 meter. If we there in the we don't prune the side branches, so in the trap releasing is a difficulty. So same also we use pheromone trap in bitter gourd. Basically, fruit flies are damaged in cucurbit crops. The insect pest name is fruit fly. So same thing, we use the technical proc card. Farmer can easily understand when some farmer is come to our center, can read our technical message why we use these techniques. So also here you can see the loss of sucking paste trapping in the yellow sticky trap. In yellow sticky trap, basically you can target the white fly and aphids and leaf miner sucking pest. If you use mask, then we can control some pests. So here we are going to our tomato action research plot. Tomato bacterial wilt action research by using copper biological product. Here we can see the difference between the farmer practice and a biological treatment to control the bacterial wilting. We use two different variety. You can see this one is the T3. T3 is our biological treatment, and T4 is farmer practice. You can see in the farmer practice, general farmer practice, there is some bacterial incidents. So in the T3, there is no bacterial incident. So it is in controlling of bacterial wilting. It is a helping to the farmer, because tomato bacterial wilting measure challenging in our area, Odisha. So that farmer are using grafting tomato seedlings. So it will also helpful for the very cheap cost to control the bacterial wilting in tomato. So we have different types of treatments. You already see the now we are going to showcase you in the T4, which is in farmer practice. There is a all the plants is having a dye. Now we are going to move to showcase you the T4. Here is a T4. You can see the results of this is general farmer practice. Almost all the plants is the dye. The severity of bacterial wilting.
Tomato skin.
Yes, is the result of our treatments. So now we are moving to second action research on green manuring. Bosco already mentioned the green manuring cover crops. After incorporate of cover crop, just we transplanted our hot pepper. You can see the difference between the treatments. In the left side, you can see the middle side is our without green manuring crop. Now right side one is the our mung bean, and also left side one is our dhanicha. You can see T1 is dhanicha, is the growth and height, and middle one is without T7 is without green manuring. The growth between the treatment is very high compared to the without green manuring. You can see the right one is the mung bean, also more growth compared to the without, and the T1 is the dhanicha. So I will showcase those little bit of the front of the our action research plot. So it is working well. The impact of green manuring is good compared to the without green manuring. Here is only we put only chemical fertilizer, but in other treatments we use three types of green manuring crops for dhanicha, sunhems, and mung beans. Thank you once again for visiting our learning site.
Thank you very much, Bagya, for showing us your COE in Odisha. There's a question from Nuhu Gideon. Is there a need to apply insecticide in the field even with the presence of the insect traps, Bagya?
Yeah, some case we use the insecticide, but we just follow the IPM processes. Then in the last option, if it is a very high infection, then we spray the insecticide to follow the limit of the pesticide.
So another question, and please Bagya answer it in the comment section or in the chat box, please. One is, what is that making your tomatoes to wilt? Is it an infection? Someone was asking or more clarity on the wilting in tomato. What is it? What causes the wilting, Bagyada?
It is caused by the bacterial wilting. In our area, bacterial wilting is very common in particularly in Kharif season. So that treatment was in general farmer practice. We compare between our biological treatment and farmer practice. In farmer practice, all the plants will be wilted due to the bacterial wilt.
So now we're ready to fly to Nigeria. Sebastian, are you still with us?
Everyone from Nigeria, and welcome to the learning site here in Kano. So as we can all see from the video, these are seedling production units where we raise our seedlings. The learning site is divided into so many sections. This is germination chamber where we keep our seedlings whenever we sow them to speed up the rate of germination. So the learning site is divided into different units. We have the seedling production unit. We have the home garden unit where we grow different varieties of crops on home garden. Then we have the entire farm, which is almost 2,540 meters square, where we showcase different practice of improved vegetable cultivation, which ranges from mulching, showcasing different organic and plastic mulch on the field. We also showcase trellising system where we stake our tomatoes, and also carry out different trials on spacing. So here, what you can see now is a harvesting facility, that storage facility. So this, what you can see here is what we call zero energy cooling chamber, the ZEC, which is made up of charcoal, woods, dry grass, battens, and wire mesh. So the idea of having this is to store our vegetables to keep them fresh. So you can see inside the ZEC, the roof is made up of dry grasses, and most of the materials that were used to construct this ZEC are 80% locally available materials within our surrounding. So we also have a water pipe, which is being connected into the ZEC to provide moisture to the crops, to the vegetables inside. And also, how did this place get cool? Is by watering the charcoal in between the two frames that was used in constructing this charcoal ZEC. This is the water system where the water drop and provide moisture for the charcoal, and the cooling effect happens inside the ZEC to keep the vegetable inside fresh and give it more shelf life and give it a firm nature that you can see it as fresh as ever. So this is what happened when the water is being on. It wets the charcoal from the top to the bottom. So inside the ZEC, we have the compartments where different vegetables are being stored, ranging from pepper, okra, to tomatoes and cucumber. And you can as well keep your cabbage in here. So by so doing, before we bring these vegetables in, we sort them out to ensure that they don't have any damage from the field before bringing them in, so as to increase their shelf life and to preserve them well before maybe probably taking them to the market, especially for areas that maybe their market is not close by and you need to harvest your crop at that particular time. So most of all these vegetables like tomatoes, cucumber, okra, they stay up to ranging from 2 weeks to 3 weeks. That's from 21 days up to even 30 days, depending on the condition where on the practice, on the kind of practice that was being adopted in growing these vegetables. So as you can see, it's a double frame wood construction where in between the woods, we put the charcoal. Then we make sure there is moisture. We'll provide moisture for the charcoal so that it will give us a cooling effect. You can all agree with me that charcoal is a bad conductor of heat. So aside the charcoal ZEC, we also have another zero energy cooling chamber, which is called the mud ZEC. This is being constructed also using mud, that's clay, to build like a double compartment that's in between the compartment. We have sand, which is a sharp sand. Then we'll provide moisture for the sand in between the compartment so as to provide the cooling effect inside the mud where our vegetables are. So this is how the compartment looks like. And the same thing, you can also store different vegetables in here, ranging from the pepper, the cucumber, tomato, and also cabbage. So this is just like a model. You can decide to have the design that you want inside the compartment, but the idea is to have the double shape, which is the mud, because in between there, you see where we put in the sharp sand, and then we water it to provide the cooling effect inside the mud. So, and also as well, in the mud above the roof, you can also store your onion using netting material, where it can provide some level of ventilation, air circulation within and outside the onion. So this is also the mud. This is how these vegetables are being arranged inside the ZEC to increase their shelf life, maybe pending when you can take them to the market for a good price. So these are above the roof. We have the onion also in a netting material, because onion like a cool, dry, ventilated area, so not to get rotting or get bolting. So we also have another post-harvest storage facility here using the clay pots. It's also a double clay pot, with in between the two clay pots, there's a space where you fill with sand, and then you provide moisture, which is you water. Then the cooling effect is inside the storage where you have your vegetables, and you can store any kind of living vegetable, and it will remain as fresh as though it was in the refrigerator. So the idea of having these all these post-harvest storage facilities is as a result of the lost farmers incur as a result of post-harvest losses, because farmers incur almost 70 to 80% of post-harvest losses of their produce. So we also have another storage barn here, where you can store your onion, and it can even last as long as 4 to 5 months. So depending on the condition in which the onions are being brought from the field. So if you cure your onion very well and you store them here, it would last as 4 to 5 months without having any effect. So we have different varieties of onion that we store here. So as you can see, this is the nature of how the onion looks inside the storage barn. And there's air circulation in between and outside the storage, in order to provide the onion with good storage facility. So thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sebastian, for showcasing a creative, locally made storage facility in your Nigeria learning farm. It's very interesting. I think our participants also was really amazed of those structures. We have few questions. I think I would love to ask from Sylvie and Team International, and then you can answer again the few other questions in the chat box. What is the temperature in the storage room or charcoal you managed to get? What's the difference with the external temperature?
We always try to manage and maintain temperature ranging from 29 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius, because you can agree with me, the more the higher the temperature in the charcoal ZEC, the more water that would be loose from the vegetables, which will make it not to store better. So we always maintain 28 to 32 degrees Celsius temperature in both the ZEC, the charcoal ZEC, and the mud ZEC.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. Last question, do you have farmers that build similar storage systems in their farms?
Yes, like for the mud ZEC, we have some farmers who are already replicating what they saw on the learning site, because it's cost effective. It doesn't require much cost for you to have something like that on your farm. And looking at the materials that were being used in constructing the storage facilities, like especially for the mud, it's something that the farmers can just get. They are already available within their environment. So they are already some of the farmers are already adopting the mud ZEC.
Yeah, interesting. And I think if our participants are also interested to learn more, maybe we can have a more specific around the vegetable topic that's mainly just on the storage facilities from Nigeria or even from the other countries that also presented today. Thank you everyone for joining us in this Around the Vegetable episode. So that's the end of our episode. Do you have any questions you would like us to answer in the future episodes or topics that you would like to learn more about? Leave your questions or suggestions in the comment section or contact our technical support hub members in your country. Stay tuned for the next episode of Around the VegTable. Curious about vegetables? Talk to Isvesid. Bye everyone!